Okay, pardon me, I don't mean to be rude, but I got sleep, you fucking up my groove. So I'm gonna need you to take a few steps back, cause I ain't with all that, baby, forever.
Boo! Yeah, welcome to today's video. Today we're gonna be doing a scary video. We're gonna be right into some scary, true scary animated horror stories. Yeah, it's kind of late at night, you feel me? I don't want to be loud because I might wake my parents up, you know. And it's dark in my room, so I'm like, I'm kind of scared, you feel me? But
only lame niggas say that shit.
let's get straight into the video.
My dad was a district attorney and my mom a politician. They were a match made in heaven. They were also very busy with work, as you would imagine, so they weren't always home. As usual, they had business to attend to that weekend, so I was left all alone in the house. It was great news, or so I thought. That evening, I was watching a show on TV. Suddenly, the show was interrupted.
Fuck, I just need my
Machete Manuel has just escaped from prison, and his whereabouts are currently unknown. Residents are advised to lock their doors and remain within their homes at least till the next morning. The news then went on to show the picture of the psychotic serial killer that had just escaped. Just his looks were enough to make my blood...
Yo. Low-key, I'd be scared of that. I'd be scared of him too. I ain't gonna cap, he got it. He got tattoos, he bald, with a tattoo on his head. Look at his eyes, bro. He got it, you feel me? I'd be scared too, I ain't gonna cap. But he can still catch these hands, I ain't gonna lie.
blood curdle. He had tattoos inked all over his face, neck, and body. He even tattooed his eyeballs deep black to give himself a more demonic look. Bills lined the front of his teeth.
That man Drippy, he got the girl on head in it.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
Why I have closed captions? Yo, I'm sorry, but I'm not restarting the video, so I had closed captions on, but I'm taking it off now. My fault. I just didn't realize.
And he had self-inflicted scars all over his hands, one for each person he had killed.
Yo.
My throat ran dry and my thoughts ran riot as I imagined the possibility of him coming to our home, especially since my dad was the district attorney that put him away. Of course, that was after he had already killed, dismembered, and mutilated about 30 people with his famous machete. I wasn't going to take any chances. I triple-checked the doors and slammed the windows shut. Before heading upstairs to hopefully do some studying, I left our dog Bruno on the living room carpet. That's where he liked to sleep. I bolted the doors to my room and hit the reading table. I was so scared out of my mind, I had to speak to myself to stay sane. Calm down, Lucas. Even if he did come here, there's no way he could get in.
Are you sure about that?
Later that night, I was awakened by the sound of water running from a faucet onto a sink. My drowsy eyes beamed at the alarm clock on the table. The time was 11:35. Crap, I must have left the water running. I would have just ignored the sound, but then I heard frantic barks. Why is Bruno barking? I asked myself, as I slowly walked down the stairs, one lethargic stride at a time. My feet felt like sandbags were tied to them, and my vision was blurry. It was a miracle I didn't end up barrel rolling down the stairs. Suddenly, Bruno's barking waned into a whisper, like the moaning of a wounded animal, and then it stopped abruptly. Bruno? Bruno! Here, boy! I whispered as I arrived at the foot of the stairs, but there was no response. At this point, my heart was beating fast, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. Suddenly, the lights went out and everything was pitch black. Oh God, what's going on? I whispered to myself as I flipped the light switches repeatedly. Luckily, I had my phone with me, so I turned on its flashlight and then made my way into the living room. Is anyone here? I yelled out, hoping, begging for this nightmare to just end. Suddenly, I heard the window slam. The jolt it gave me was enough to drive sleep away from my eyes. Is somebody there? Hello? I called out again to no one in particular. Bruno was no longer in the living room. I walked towards the front door, and that was when I saw it. The locks were broken, and the door was wide open. I also noticed that other houses in the neighborhood had lights in them, so someone must have cut the power to my house. I made my way toward the basement door to check our fuse box. I arrived
Access right now.
to the fuse box, which was right behind the basement door. I was shocked to find that it had been switched off. I obviously didn't do it, so I had no doubt that there was someone else in the house with me. I flipped the switch and the lights came back on. Oh, thank God, I whispered to myself. But just before I could breathe easy, I looked towards the kitchen, and standing right at the entrance was a man with a machete. A man who, without a doubt, was Machete Manuel. Hola, cabron! I just have one question for you. Is your jefe home? Manuel grunted from across the room with a distinct Hispanic accent. I, however, was so petrified I couldn't say a word.
Loki just be like, yeah, my pop's upstairs, you feel me? He gonna go upstairs. But when you take off.
I couldn't even move. Are you deaf or something, pendejo? He barked and then charged towards me. Without thinking, I slammed and locked the basement door and then ran down the stairs. I heard the door.
What basement door got a lock inside the basement? Isn't it outside the basement? Now how did that make sense?
I tripped over something at the foot of the stairs and crashed to the floor. My phone had also fallen out of my hand and the light had gone out. I rose to my feet. The basement was dark, but after a few misplaced slaps across the wall, I was able to hit the light switch. And that's when I saw it. Bruno's lifeless body.
What the dog doing?
Bruno! Oh God! Why is this happening? I could still hear his heavy footsteps stomping around upstairs. I can't find my phone. Oh God, what am I gonna do? Just then, I noticed the basement window. I quickly crawled through it and then ran over to our neighbor's house. I pounded on his door until he opened up. You gotta help me! The serial killer, he's at my house right now! The neighbor was the head of the neighborhood watch, so gathered a few other men and they went over to my house. Each man was armed with a shotgun and a rifle. When they got there, they found nothing but muddy boot prints and dirt stains. Afterward, they called my parents and the police. Not long after, we moved to a different house. It's been over a year now, and I still find it hard to sleep at night, especially when I remember they still haven't caught him.
On story number 3, story number 2 is crazy. I would have threw the hands on.
My name is Dina, and I'm a huge horror fan. Well,
Hey,
at least
you know I love Scream movies. That's probably my favorite franchise, my favorite scary movies as well.
Oh, brother, this guy's
I was alone in my house. I had just moved in and still had a lot of unpacked boxes. It was a Saturday night and I thought I would spend the evening watching a horror movie.
She kind of
But
look like
before I
Rihanna.
could choose one, I got a call.
Hello, Dina. Do you like horror movies?
Yo,
Dude, really?
What's wrong, my friend?
First of all, you're not intimidating at all. Second, do you really want to scare me by imitating Scream? There are literal parodies of that movie.
You should have more respect for someone who knows where you live, Dina.
Mr. Psycho, I regret to inform you that we are now in the 21st century. I would be disappointed if you didn't even know my birthday. I'm gonna keep looking for a movie. You're better off trying to scare a boomer. Bye-bye.
Once I cut him off,
hey,
I
she
laughed a little
cold.
under my breath.
I see.
I've gotta admit it, it didn't scare me, but it did entertain me. What I didn't know was that my fun was about to end. Suddenly, a stone smashed against my glass.
Hey,
I ran to the window, but there was no one there. And
this
as I
last, we
approached the
gotta fade
stone,
after that now.
it had a
Oh,
message on it.
Hello? Listen to me. You better.
No! You listen to me. You cut me off again, and I'll break you in half. Understand?
What do you want?
You said you knew Scream, didn't you? You know what I want. Fame.
Well, you're looking for it with the wrong person. Get out of here.
Hey.
I'll call the police.
Hey.
Do you think I'll give you time to do that?
Where are you?
Watching you, Dina. Watching you walk nervously in that blue t-shirt.
What did you say, nigga?
I went into the guest room and hid. The place was full of boxes. Darkness surrounded the whole area and it was impossible to see anyone.
What a curious place you chose to hide, Dina.
I know you're not here. You don't know where I am.
You think you're clever, but you hid in the most predictable place possible, dear friend.
Oh yeah? If you were in this room, then how did you know how I was dressed?
Don't you remember the movie, Dina? It's never just one killer.
Hey.
The man was in front of me, brandishing
Yo.
a huge knife in his hand. The design was similar to Scream, but this one was scarier. The man approached me slowly. His steps were...
Alright, let's be for real, bro. Ghostface, he's just a normal human being, bro. He can catch the face, he can catch his hands, bro. He's not like Jason or Michael, you feel me? He's just a normal human being.
I threw a box at him to stop him and ran for the door. Instead of running, I waited behind the door, and when he came out, I hit him with it. I ran towards the exit.
Come on,
but before I got...
Bro, I hate when people do that. Bro, get a weapon.
There was another man with a different mask, but similar to that of his companion. I turned around and saw that the other man was coming down the stairs. I was locked in, and my only way out was the basement. I ran and hid under the stairs while one of them came down. The man began to walk slowly, inspecting every part of the basement slowly. He knew I was here, but he couldn't find me. I thought about trying to hit him to defend myself, but because of our physical difference, I knew that would not end well. But once the man got to where I was, he stopped and turned around. The stalker started looking for the basement lights. This was my chance to escape. I pushed him and climbed the stairs, locking him in as soon as I could get up. But that wasn't the end of it.
Good job, Dina.
As soon as I turned around, the other man lunged at me and tried to hit me.
Yeah, dodge it. Hey, I'm about to neck, got a knife. Ha, flip him over. Ha, yeah. Don't ask me. I know that, you feel me?
I managed to dodge him and started to run, but he was faster than me. He grabbed me by the hair and threw me against the counter, hurting me with the kitchen stuff.
I have
Pick
to
up a
tell you
kitchen
the
knife.
truth, Dina. My friend is not the smartest of the bunch. I'll deal with him later. What's a great movie without a betrayal, right?
It's just a movie! What makes you think it'll all work out the same way?
Of course it will. And unlike a movie, it doesn't have to end. I'll be famous. I'll get letters. People will recognize me. I'll be bigger than Manson.
I wasn't going to let this psycho hurt me. During his speech, I reached out my hand to see what I could grab to defend myself, and as luck would have it, I found something perfect.
You wish!
He may have had a mask, but he still had an opening for me to see through. I poured oil spray through this opening, and as I expected, the man went berserk, swinging his knife sporadically, unable to hit anyone. I rammed him as hard as I could, and while he was on the floor, I ran for the exit. On the way, the basement door gave way and the other man started chasing me from behind. But this chase didn't last long. A police cruiser was outside my house. As soon as they saw the man
Now, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of the police being straight outside the house while she getting chased? Come on now.
chasing me, the officers stopped them. I was finally safe. I warned them that the other criminal was inside the house, but they couldn't find him. He had escaped through the back door, but he didn't get far, as his partner ratted him out. Both of these guys were old neighbors, and they really had intended to murder me. They were both convicted of attempted murder, and by the time they got out, I'll be prepared if I have to deal with them again. That was the last day I watched a horror movie. I admit that I've tried to watch them, but I find it impossible. Every time I do, I remember those two psychopaths trying to kill me. They may not have made it big, but for what they did to me that night, I will remember them forever.
Oh, that's the video, you feel me? If y'all enjoyed, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. yeah, I'm gonna be reacting to more scary videos. I'm gonna be playing scary video games. It's gonna be a lot more scary stuff on this channel, but catch you on the next one. Peace.